Hi, welcome to another video. Today I want to share with you a tool that I have created for myself to help me get me out of my victim mode or victim consciousness, and it reminds me of who I am. And it might be a tool that you can also create for yourself and customize it so you can have some form of emergency protocol for when your brain goes dramatic. So here's the story. In June of this year, I hit one of those internal storms where all memories and a very harsh voice inside my head gets loud. The vibe was very nothing you do is ever enough. And even though a part of me knows I've done a lot in my life, that voice doesn't care about evidence. It just wants to narrate its tragic little novella of you'll never accomplish anything. And at first, I tried to fight back and starting to try to fix myself. And then it hit me. It was like, oh, well, hello, victim consciousness. I know you. It's like, oh yeah, I'm trying to fix myself and I'm trying to be better and I'm feeling bad about myself and I'm feeling lost. And then it's like, wait, no, I am in victim mode. And every time in my life I've caught myself in that state, something powerful shifted. Because awareness breaks the trance. It hands me my power back. Now, I've learned to be gentle with myself when this happens, because this is not about, oh, get out of victim mode, it's not about punishing ourselves or beating ourselves up because we got into that state, right? It's just about being kind and gentle with ourselves and at the same time knowing how to gently move out of that state. So this last time, I turned the whole thing into an opportunity and created a tiny notebook for myself. Just a few pages with the exact reminders I need when I'm spiraling and I'm feeling sad and lost. It's basically my emergency protocol for when I've been in poor me energy for too long. And I call it the Miracle Kit, a place to remember who you are. Yes, that's the name. Don't judge me. Every line inside is a reminder written by me for me, all in one place instead of scattered through random notes, screenshots, and metaphysical post-its, right? I feel like this is good because maybe you have things that help you get back on track and remember who you are, but maybe they're all over the place. And this is a tool that helps you put it all in one tiny notebook that it's going to be there for you when you need to remind who you are. So to remember who you are. Yeah, that's correct. So I'm going to share with you a few of the points inside my tiny notebook, my miracle kit, that helped me go back to my truth. First point says, say a little prayer or intention, something that connects you to yourself and something bigger, because this resets the energy fast. So sometimes I just stop everything. I just take, one deep breath and put a hand in my heart and just do a little prayer or an intention to let go of whatever it's bothering me and allowing the universe, God, life to support me in this moment while I just gently start going out of that victim mode. So the second point is activate your inner badass. Yes, badass energy with love, but with authority. You say to yourself a clear, enough is enough. We're not hosting an endless pity party. You can choose differently. Yes, there's effort required, but it's worth it. The third point is drop the perfection fantasy. You don't need to be fearless or flawless to keep going. Being human is allowed, because sometimes, personally, my victim mode, it's very much like, oh, I can't do anything if I'm not perfect. Oh, I'm still afraid of something. I can't do it because I'm afraid. No, you can take action. Fear is allowed because you're human. It's okay. You don't need to be perfect to keep going. That's just an excuse. And it comes from this victim consciousness. So we drop the perfection fantasy. The fourth point is act like someone whose past doesn't get to drive the car anymore. And it's not letting your interpretation of the past, because it's not the past itself, but what we make it mean, and the story we tell ourselves, that sometimes it's kind of a shitty story. And this point is about acting like someone who doesn't let that past define the present or the future. The fifth point is ask, what would I choose if I didn't see myself as a victim right now? If I see myself as an empowered person, what would I choose? Because that choice would probably be very, very different. The sixth point is make peace with where you are. Stop beating yourself up. It's not about forcing your way out of the hole. It's okay wherever you are. There's nothing wrong with where you're at. I think this also comes from being hyper exigent or a perfectionist, and it's like, oh, I should be farther along. This is bad. It's kind of very harsh. So it's, make peace with where you are. It's okay. The seventh point is call in your inner cheerleader, a genuinely supportive voice that reminds you of what is working out right now and encourages you whether to keep going or to rest if it's needed. And eighth point is cry if you need to. Feeling is safe. It melts the resistance and brings you back into coherence. And I think that this one might be the most powerful one, because when we're beating ourselves up or too in victim mode, sometimes we need a good crying, but not in victim mode. A good crying of those that really kind of purify you. Like you allow yourself to be real, to be vulnerable, to accept that you don't know it all, to accept that you might need support. It's like allowing yourself to not have to always be quote unquote strong, because I think that crying, it also shows emotional strength, right? It's not weakness, but we sometimes associate crying and being vulnerable with being weak, and that's just not the truth. So I've used this little notebook at least 4 times in the last few months, and every time it brings me back to myself. It's very simple, and it's my own book. So today, if this resonated with you, I want to invite you, if you haven't already, to create your own reminder book. You can grab a small notebook and put together your own protocol. Just a couple of pages of your own wisdom, the things that reliably bring you back to you. You'll notice patterns. It's usually the same handful of actions, thoughts, or reminders that shift your state. When you see them all in one place, it strengthens the muscle of awareness and kindness. And you can keep it somewhere visible so it can call you at the right moment. This tiny notebook can be your light in the dark and create amazing miracles in your life. So if this resonated, let me know, what would you add to your own book? What is that thing that every time you hear it always helps you to say, oh, wow, I have power. I'm not a victim. I can choose something different. What's the things that you hear over and over, and that it will be really good to have it all in one place in your tiny notebook, your miracle kit. I wanted to call it the miracle kit because I feel like emergency protocol, it's like emergency, right? And miracle kit, it's more like, wait, that it kind of like helps you become aware that that moment doesn't have to be something absolutely chaotic. It can be also an opportunity for a miracle. So that's why I call it that way. So thank you so much for listening this episode. I'm sorry. And let me know, what would you add to your own tiny notebook? And remember to keep it simple, have fun, and stay inspired. Bye.